first of all, thanks everyone for being here. Thanks for being I know you took time out to be here for me, and thanks for sharing as well. Say what it was like, what happened, and what it's like now. I can remember a bit of brief history. I can remember growing up, and I never liked alcohol. I didn't like it at all, because my dad was a successful guy. He was studying to be an engineer by correspondence. He was a toolmaker on the railways, so he was a blue class worker as such, and I still remember in my life story, we actually he built a family home, and in my life story I actually went into so much detail on how they dug the foundations, they laid the foundations, then the house was window level, and then they put the windows in. We do so much detail about that. In my life story feedback, I got, this is we want your life story. We don't want a construction lesson. But it was definitely a big part of my life. My daddy, he was my hero, but he was a bit of a woman as well. And when I was maybe 20 years ago, or even 25 years ago, I was about 45, 50. And it came through to my sisters that I've actually got a half brother which I've never met. And then my sisters met him, and they wouldn't disclose to me. Apparently, he was quite a successful guy. I think he was a bit younger than my older sister, and she was born after my folks been married for 18 months. So that's enough said. And I just couldn't, as I said, I didn't like alcohol because, and as a kid, if we went anywhere on a Sunday, with Dad, the family would go out. There was 2 cars in the house. There was double garage type of thing. And if we went out with Dad, he would somehow get totally out of it, embrace the family. This was Veroni area, East Rand area, and then we'd summer we'd get home. I don't know how we get home. And it was a shit show in a sense. He was my hero, and I just couldn't understand why he did this. And then the next morning, everything's back, everything's rosy. If it's a Sunday, Dad's going to work. And then I said previously, he was studying via correspondence. So we had to, as older sister, younger sister, and I was in the middle, and we had to be very quiet at home because Dad's studying, and then suddenly Dad won't come home he'll come home very late, he'll come home drunk, and then Mom and Dad are fighting, and then the next morning everything's back to normal. Dad's he's going to work, and then he got a job on the north coast, Verulam side, Canelands, as an engineer at a mustard factory, and he was only there for just under a year because it was very high pressure. Sometimes he'd work 18 hours a day, if not longer. He was always on call out. And then I did I'd half a standard 6 in Gauteng, Veroni. Then I did half a standard 6 in Northlands. I guess now it's Northwood. Anyway, and then he applied for a factory, and then he completed he got his government ticket, certificate of competency, and then he applied for a job in Durban, and he got it, Department of Labour, machinery inspector. And then we moved to Bluff, which now this was like heaven to me. Standard 6, just past Standard 6, and now it's like school holidays. And there was a bush path you could actually walk down to the beach, and then it was known as Treasure Beach. I think it still is. And then the long story cut short, and then I was an apprentice, and then just one day, my first job was with Telkom, an executive from the army, and then I didn't like that job because I was in Roxburgh Telephone Exchange, built 1948 or something. There they still had paper insulation on the wires. And then I went to Tech twice. I passed Tech once in Olifantsfontein, first time in Durban, then Olifantsfontein. And then one day I was an apprentice, and let's get a call, there's a family emergency. So I went home, and apparently like Dad had gassed himself in the garage. That was the end of that was the beginning of my, I don't know, sort of, couldn't give damn, or Dad's gone, put it on me, so I'm going to drink. And then, at that stage, I never thought of my younger sister, my older sister. They just lost their dad, the breadwinner. Mom had lost her husband. And I went on for like a week's bender as such. I had permission from work to be off. But I didn't have any compassion for them whatsoever. If I think about it now, it was very, very sick. My late dad, he had three insurance policies, and they all lapsed by 3 months because apparently he didn't pay them. And so and then the house in the Bluff was sold, and then my mom bought a house Oakport side, and just so happened that that same house we drove past it one day, and the whole house was burned down. I heard that people bought their house, it was double story, and they were I think they were getting holiday makers, but the electricity system wasn't designed for a double story with 3 rooms on top, 3 rooms on the bottom, and that house burned down. And I can just see, and what had happened, I still went to a psychiatrist, and recommended I went to go to a psychiatrist. I went to this tall dude, and he gave me it was 2 prescriptions and for medication, and I went to the chemist, and I just saw these 2 or 3 big packets that I was supposed to. They were for me, and I thought, no, I just left them there. I don't know, we know this is alcohol. It's not the alcohol or the drugs. It's how we wired. It's our bodies, and then and my first rehab was a big government run thing now. Pretoria Cullinan, and it was the doctor driving in charge. I just went there. It was like, as the magistrate said, sort of, you're not going to jail, but you're going to like a facility that's completely self-run. And then I finished that. It was 5 months or 7 months, just working in the garden. It's fully self-contained. They got their own cattle, their own sheep, their own chickens. It's fully self-contained. It was and then it was a case of having a few more drunk and driving charges, and but I always get out of it. I think my sisters and my late mom, they did enable me quite a bit. If I was in shit, they get a lawyer for me, and then I did I did serve 18 months. I actually served 14 months at Westfront Prison. It was just before late 80s. But I think it wasn't a lesson to me, even that I believe now Westfall has got HLI now. I've done the other prisons, I haven't done Westfall. And it would be quite an opportunity to go there. I'd like to go there one day as a former inmate, and and also doing prison service at local prisons here at Port Shepstone. That's been off for quite a while. Unzinto. Like I learned a lot there. I mean, I can go to a prison and just be there for an hour and actually come back home. And also going into treatment. I've done 2 stints in Durban rehabs, but none like a 12-step program, as you know, on the House on the Hill. It was took me a long time. It took me like almost a year, because I did like a lot of procrastination. I mean, like step 1 took me a long time. Like eventually, I eventually finished the steps, and I remember one day it was Stel's. I saw you on the stage, and he said, "Oh, you're going to halfway." I went, "Oh, well, that's very cool." And then, like the first halfway was a bit of a, it was a bit run down, but it was cool. And and then that halfway, they like it was sold, and then we moved into another halfway, which I'm actually at present. And prior to that, I was at Baisley, and Baisley was I think some of the guys there are familiar with it. Like there, it was just myself and my roommate, and we had a pit bull there. It was also a patient. This pit bull sort of. I love this dog. How can I say I love this dog? Because, like, I knew that the lady who had this dog, like this dog saved her life, and she saved this dog's life. So I was very up and down. Like, this is a cool dog. I mean, like 5-10 minutes walk down to the beach, and this dog actually terrorized the whole neighborhood. And then eventually the late Dougie devised like a running chain, and that seemed to solve that. But like a dog would, prior to this, like a dog would get out, and I mean, where's the dog? And you'll just hear dogs barking all around Beijing. That's where it is. And eventually I called him, but like he never listened. I should take him to the beach a lot, which helped me, because as such a quite lazy person, I said no, like I must get little out, and and then leaving that, and then the one day I get a call from Neville, our chef, or chef, he was a chef there, and he says, "Yo, would I be prepared to adopt a cat?" I said, "Me adopt a cat? I've had dogs before, but like I've never adopted a cat." I said, "No, bring it on." And then this little, and then character ride, it was. And I was actually looking at the old photos that my phone's faulty. All the photos have been deleted. I had a few thousand photos. Now I've got like about like less than 50 photos. But now at present, and then because like my roommate there, my roommate, he got a job, so and now because I didn't have transport. And so I went back to the halfway house in Scottsboro. And it's been quite a challenge there as well. I did have temporary work. That work is Umkomas Golf Club, and there just wasn't. There were some functions, but now it's just like fizzled out in a sense. And the same lady's now she's doing Scottsboro Golf Club. And I've applied there. Like she knows my work ethics in a sense. I did a bit of like doing dishes there, just prep, doing the bar, like which I enjoy intensely. And I think I'll leave it there. I just want to thank Mandy for asking me to share, and once again Francois for chairing and as my sponsor, and just everybody else. I remember also when I was like 50 years ago, I was in my 20s, and like New Year, like going to meetings, knew I had a problem. And one of the old timers said to me at one of the meetings, said, you know what, like it's a blessing that you're so young. You don't want to become a buddy like me now, like still doing the rehab thing, still doing the half an ounce thing. So if any younger people, yeah, just focus on the 5 pillars. I love that saying, what's it? Speak softly and carry a big book. Yeah. Thanks, Lady Michelle.